Semeni wakurugenzi, welcome to Open Conversations with Nesh, a space where we celebrate authenticity through meaningful conversations. Tumepita 100 subscribers manze, support manze, like, share bana, tufike manze at least 1,000 by the end of the year. Content ikuwe kali manze, because it's because of you guys manze tunafanya hii stuff manze, na tukipata support tunaendelea kupata energy ya kutoa more episodes manze. Today is a good day because bado tunapiga show na Mr. Diet.
Ready now?
Kama mliwatch last episode you get kujua who Diet is maze. Vile amekuwa kwa life yangu and his creative experience, because that's what we're going to talk about today.
Like both of us.
Yeah. Creative expression and Christianity in creative expression. Derek come up na hii idea. So I think this is the first question to pose to you and then I'll share also my story. Like why will you want to be creative maze?
I think it's weird because maybe I've been a creative since I was young. Like it was a young thing. When I was young, I used to listen to Michael Jackson, enjoy the dance. I think I kicked more than often in the belly. But yeah, it's something I discovered when I was young. I think the moment you discover it is when you present it to people and people actually love it. So I used to sing, nikitoka shule, so I used to come back and sing with my brother. Alikuwa anajua kucheza anajua the piano.
Oh, so you already had a big brother who was a creative.
Yeah.
That's cool.
Nirudi nyuma achana na mimi kuzaliwa. I think it's a clan thing. Niseme nini, but my father is also a creative because anapenda music, anapenda kuimba. My mom same. So yeah, if we go back then that's where it came from. So yeah, back to my story. I used to nikitoka shule, the songs zenye tumelearn, nakuja tunaipraku na yeye pale, then I sing, he plays the piano and I was like, hey, kuna sauti fiti, nini. So I think for me, creative wise, I was really depending on the feedback. So I had the zeal to sing. Nilikuwa napenda kuimba, I was attracted to music, I was attracted to all that, but unajua msianza kwa it's about the environment, because mimi my father, my mom, my bros, because pia was like our community, African communities wenye wazee wanaishi wengi. So yeah, inaweza kuwa labda ni kitu I was let's say influenced. But when I discovered it was like something good is when I presented it and people actually loved it. So my brother was my first audience na alipenda.
I say that's
So yeah.
So unaweza tu kuimba tu hivyo tu like just nikuja tu natural to you ni
kwa bafu, kwa room, when I'm walking, hizo kwa na earphones, so sisi ndio ilikuwa earphones. So yeah, I can say my discovery was number one because I was inclined to nilikuwa naonyeshwa kitu na uipendi.
Exactly, yeah, that's
so people showed, like I saw my family vibing around music and stuff, and I loved it. I was attracted to it. Then I tried it out. Then people loved how I did things, like how I danced and how I
dancing mzee unakuanga kila Michael Jack.
Yeah, so yeah, I think that's how I discovered.
And the dancing, we are going interested.
The dancing part.
How did you perfect? I'm like ilikuwa tu so natural.
So I mentioned I love Michael Jackson.
Yeah, for sure.
Nilikuwa nimecram hizo dance routines zake. Kwanza Thriller. Thriller was doing like, so it was I just your time nilikuwa na copy people. Nilikuwa na come up with my ideas, so I was copying and I was actually doing it well.
Because you can copy no course kuifanya
nje. I'm copy all that niko sawa, then you go and present it and people are like, my guy, actually doing
exactly. Yeah.
So yeah, it is a combination of being shown being presented to music and creation as a whole, and loving it and actually doing it and people appreciating it. That's the combination.
Okay.
Answer when we go philosophy.
The origin story yako ndio ilikuja tu so naturally. Because yako the reason why yako it's just like a perfect story. Mine was so different. Different kwa sababu kuna creative side na kuna logical side. The structure, the routine side. Ya shule sasa unajua ile kuenda unapata A's. Me I was nilikuwa fit hiyo side. So I never thought I'd thrive in creativity. Sikuwa I never even actually saw myself as a creative when I was young. Unaona, kwa sababu nilikuwa najua academics na kuwa fit and nothing and get a job. You know the fairy tale story that the Matrix tells you. Kama system nakwambia wewe utakuwa tired, utaenda because now you're thriving in school, utatoka, get a job and then you live happily ever after. But it was not. It was the case for me because nilikuwa na thrive in school, so I thought that was my dream. But the segue happened, I think, when I was in campus. Me sikuwa nijiona as a creative because when I remember in primary,
it took you until campus.
To be frank, I enjoy listening to music. Maybe
when you consumer.
Yeah, maybe I'm a consumer. That's what I saw as myself. Because I remember when I was in primary school, tuliendanga piano classes. And for me, manze, hiyo tu kukaa chini na kuanza kujua hizi stuff, ilikuwa tunanikalia so difficult. And I never knew how to draw. When I was young, sikuwa napenda kuchora. I never knew. I didn't like it. Ilikuwa naona tu that was just beyond me. So najua like ukiona uje kuchora then kwa music tena.
Hauko fit.
Hauna sauti.
Haujui dance. Haujui kuva.
Hapo fashion hapo now that's another discussion. But when I saw myself as not creating, and then nilikuwa najua okay, maybe najua this is for other people and najua si ati mbona ameniacha hivyo, I'm good kwa vitabu najua true. So went to Pumwani, karibu ningekuwa ya kiasi, but that was not my thing. Karibu ilikuwa tu kiasi.
You already knew you can't sing. Kulikuwa na kufanya neno.
Nazaiba nilile. Ndio nilile.
So maybe we can teach, Pumu was really good at choir, so maybe we can teach people how to sing.
So I think kwa campus sasa, I remember I went to see a friend of mine. Nilikuwa naenda kucheki best yangu, alikuwa anakaa Jacaranda Estate. So I met up with this guy, like he came with his dad. They were, I think, mutual friends with that friend of mine. And umse akaniuliza, what the hell do you do? Mimi nikakuwa like, wewe nafanya biochem, unajua. What do you do? Akaniambia wazee, akaniambia, I don't know, we just continue the conversation. Akaniambia manze zima, wewe.
There's something
else. Wewe hata kuniambia ati wewe ni mse wa manini, you're a creative. You're a creative. And I can never forget that moment. Ever since that moment, manze, ili click kwa yangu like, mbona mse ananiambia hiyo stuff? So I think I think this is why I believe words have power. Vitu tu zilianza kuwork to set me on that part of
creating. Like, I think America, my point to America, because creative find out from feedback.
Yeah, exactly.
There's a jua tu, lakini ukienda mbele ya sepa
so weird. I think your time nilikuwa tu nimedress msana kwa manze unakaa tu creative kama because me nimezoea this other side and I've been good at it. So since that moment nikaanza kuona okay, there's this other side, ndio nikaanza kujiuliza creativity yangu kwa wapi, because I can't draw, I don't
see what you're saying,
but my younger brother raps, so like I think it was but I love fashion to the core. Nikakam I think Eldoret 2021 and then joined book club. Shout out to book club. Nikaanza tu kubonga mazee, after tu nikaanza kurealize people are interested in the way
what you're saying.
What I'm saying,
man.
Exactly. And you know what, God receive all the glory and honor mazee. Nilikuwa in an era of podcasts. Nikakuwa like wow. Yaani hata God time yenye ameniweka na hii season ameniweka mazee. Podcast mazee. And podcast nikakam to realize is an art. Not everyone can do it mazee. Podcast is a place of creativity mazee. Wow, this is what manze I'm so good at manze, and nikiingia kwa hii arena najua tu yani kwa sababu hii ni place yenye God amenigive manze, naweza chafua tu wase, unajua ni kama rap mseo kusema wewe ndio the goat of all time say mimi najua nikiingia kwa hii arena naweza chafua manze design
at least as a bonga
kiasi. So like to embrace your stuff na kujua okay, now podcast is a place of creativity na place yenye naweza explore this other side that I really wanted to explore. Actually ikaanza kugravitate towards music sasa, like literally side iligeuka full on. I'm constantly listening to music all the time.
It's like a whole
exactly. I get your energy from music, you get your energy from music, time na shoot podcast na toa hapo mazina toa hiyo that energy.
Sasa
that
hii
creative
kama
energy.
sasa hiyo on your way here
Lazima nisikize. Exactly, kwa sababu hiyo cycle msee na hiyo energy unacheki. So I think my journey imekuwa so crazy because mimi nimekuwa on this other side. And I really thank God because nimekuwa this other side because I think that through that it makes kind of happy. Kwa sababu hata kwa podcast lazima uwe ni msee mwenye uko na enjoy information, you know what you say.
You've been adopted.
Even adopted to this other side.
But the final, I think when you were talking about that, ikanifanya nikumbuke, because something weird about maybe somebody kama mimi, not like kujieka mbaya, kujieka kwa disadvantage, but a disadvantage of being a creative from birth. You kind of lose the zeal in a way because you know you have it. But you, when you come out like a new believer, you know, like
exactly.
It's like, wow, Bible ni wapi, niende nisome wapi, like, you know, you're like a new believer.
Yeah.
And I think you're being encouraged because for me as a creative, I've been in it, but seeing you, just discovering it like juicy, and now you're all up here in the TV, you know, guys. So that's a really encouragement for people. Mimi kama Jew.
Yeah, exactly.
Like a Jew.
Because when you follow,
I knew it.
When you follow,
unakuwa passive with it. Like, mimi naamka tu na nitoe ngoma. Mimi nafanya hivi na ni dance, but I think having you this other side of it pia, you know, just a testify. What's the word? Testimony to our friendship.
Yeah.
How we are like two sides of a coin, because now wewe ni like a tennis coin.
Najua unataka kunichomea.
Kama gentle, pagan. Love me.
Really do it.
And obviously, even in like in the Bible, there's still a tree which has both of us, you know.
Exactly.
So in the Bible, sema wewe umeletwa.
Actually, I've loved what you said kwa sababu unajua like me also kurealize jump in that side of creativity because you can be both. Like we're not saying like this side and this side. You can have both, but to embrace this other side, man, you guys don't know what you have. Man. The spontaneity to life, man. The newness to everything, creativity. Say this is actually this psychological book I'm reading. The creative new the life giver. Now, imekuwa so let's say catastrophic in the sense ama imekuwa so addictive to my space in the sense that when I don't do it kama shoot podcast na feel kama na draw na feel kama juu kinirudisha back to the corporate system of this 9 to 5 Monday to Sunday man, that's not me. Like nilikuwa converted kama nimetoka
like
I cannot.
Actually, I was in the wrong.
I was in the wrong place.
Clearly.
Yeah. I often even think talking about the future. Yeah, the Kenyan system and actually even the whole world. I feel like tuna shift from easy office jobs. Shift from join 9 to 5.
No, I think it's not even I think it's a shift of the expression of art because now art is being expressed in like technology and when it's not even office, no wonder like the more technology may get better, people are even wanaachana na story ya ofisi. People actually doing it in the air. And for creatives, now that's our space because us we can. The fact that I can create in maybe I don't know Hawaii and like show you guys this stuff. Like for a creative, that's like mind blowing.
Exactly.
Because you don't really have to go there.
Yeah, exactly. Because one thing I realize as a creative, the benefit you get from creativity is just sharing your art out. Exactly. Kwa sababu unapata unajua like ni kitu na take time, even making money from this. So this is where the hustle is, making money from it. Inakuwa like lazima kuwa na consistency. These are the things we learned from the other side of the corporate system. You know? So, but the benefit of just putting your art out there, manzi. Alafu na hiyo positive feedback manzi inafanyanga. Like inakuwa tu just a dopamine rush manzi. Like every time I do content out manzi, dopamine rush too like it's just a dopamine rush and you cannot even explain manzi. Huwezi compare. But sasa kitu kingine nime notice about this stuff ni the negative feedback. The negative feedback.
Because it's like a baby. Exactly. You just get one thing say kama if you're a mom and someone talks like crap about your baby when you unaliana.
Exactly.
Mtu wako ndiye anatani.
Creation
is like your baby.
Because 20 people wanaweza kupatia positive feedback wanakwambia vile content yako ni fit ama the work you're doing ama your expression iko fiti. But when that one person aseme tu hakuna tunafanya, that one negative comment affects you, man.
And I think like a question, should you, to avoid all that, maybe that confusion around people actually controlling how you feel and how you see your creation, how should you should you not look at, like even in YouTube, because in this podcasting, should you look at the comments or not?
I think you should. I think the blessing and the curse of being a creative, putting yourself out there, kutakuwa na feedbacks, and I don't think you can shut out. Then unaweza jificha from what people are going to say. This is life. People are going to have different opinions. Kuna wase watapenda energy yako, kuna wase watapenda energy yako. So I think you just have to learn to control the way you feel, because you cannot control what happens to you, but you can control the way you react to what happens to you.
And what about being someone, let's say, having a really close knit of friends? And avoiding now the comments and actually having people around you who really know you. And because people, when you're on a comment, unless it's someone you know, they don't really know you. So I feel, yes, they might have a point, maybe, but I think it's not fair for you, especially because they don't know you. I think no wonder sometimes even I think George Janko talks about how he doesn't really look at the comments that much. Okay, he's trying to not look at the comments, but he doesn't, because I feel that's why when we were talking about this, the story about making it and going big, you really need a close knit of friends, like people you really trust, who they would end up with NH. So I think, I'm having friends, a pastor, your parents, like people just who know you for you.
Your close-knit community. What do I
Because
say?
comments, man, they can go wild, man, and it's like a whole, and that's what, especially if you deal with something that point of view say goes so far from yours, make it. You get what I'm saying?
I know how can really throw you off, because we thrive on inspiration. Sisi ni watu tunakuwa inspired, nisipokuwa inspired manze kutoa content na kwa normal. Ni ngumu sana kutoa content kama uko inspired. So when somebody kills that energy, your inspiration, I know how it can really affect you.
You're done.
And that's why hata sahi na believe hii kitambo nilikuwa skeptical about it, but right now kuna kuanga na stuff inasema protect your energy. Protect your energy. And that's why I think napenda kumesema hiyo ku have people you trust, your close knit friends, ama wale wase wako ama mlioanzenza wale wase wako. Unajua wale wase wako wenye wako msaidia wako.
You guys when you tumeanza now, guys. Exactly. It's enough because like right now obviously we're not that big. We'll get there, right? So relax. But you're not that big. But right now, the people who are commenting are most likely from your friends.
Exactly. So what do you sana upate
so sasa usianze hiyo form ya sasa uangalie comments. Sasa ni kama ine tano unasoma.
Exactly. Unasoma una feel side tunaendelea. Unacheki. So I think just having people you trust and people who really know how this is important for you and them encourage, because you need people who tell you the truth. Doesn't unaweza kuwa umeona nje and you're the only person who can see my blind spots, and I want the person who can see your blind spots. So I think you need to have people who critique in a healthy way, man. And those are the people when you're close for what they're national for stuff at the same time. Kuna vile aliuma nje na hii video improve hapa na hapa, so you also need that your energy to push, no? But see that una drag msee chini kule, msee mbona unafanya hii stuff, how to make it really true. So I think sheltering yourself from that, and I think we are grounding work, man. Mimi nasema because of my faith, man, this is why nafanya hii stuff sai. If I'd start earlier, that's why mimi nakwambia mimi in God's time, divine timing. Ningeanza kitu mapema manze, ule upuzi ningefanya. Podcast yangu ilikuwa tu just basic mediocre, ilikuwa tu like zile vitu zenye tu. I remember when I was in campus, tulikuwa na maboys wangu and tulienda.
You know this is a bad story. And here's someone saying, I remember when I was in campus. You're not talking about the lecture. Obviously.
Ilikuwa cringe man. Because we just tulikuwa tunapenda flow. We just doing what the culture and society was doing.
Just talking.
So ilikuwa tu bash madem unateki, but your grounding work na kujua Mungu manze and this is why nataka tuingie pia kwa hiyo space ya faith na creativity. imechange
Oh,
the
yeah,
way
definitely,
imechange the
definitely.
way I want to express my art.
Definitely.
Unacheki?
Definitely.
I'm more cautious. Na si ati like ime restrict kwa sababu sana nadhani ukiwa Christian ina restrict, but I feel like ime rejuvenate.
Actually, ina make you see things that you didn't see
exactly.
before you.
Yeah.
Hata when baba venye umesema venye, like I think when we relate creativity with our belief, you know, we normally view the world through our beliefs.
Yeah, for sure.
So if you believe, let's say, let me look for a wild belief. I don't know what men should have maybe multiple wives. Let's say, for example, if you believe that, then obviously every art and expression that you make has to
coincide, lazima zikuwe na synchronicity. There has to be synchronicity, yeah, for sure.
So if now that we know that health literature, now that we know faith and how belief inafanya in affect your creativity, if we might now believing in God. Because for me, I think it could finally cringe about let's say gospel let's say music that gospel
music.
It kind of cringe because I felt it wasn't really. And one, they were just singing normal things, like because me in my creation I love to really go beyond boundaries. You know, like
sure.
talk about how hard I am, talk about my darkness. Because I feel gospel, people think that gospel is just about talking about the good times in life. You know.
Oh yeah.
You know, how God saved. Maybe you can talk about the good times, but just good vibes, good air, useme Mungu hapa na pale, you know, gospel. But what about if I just be truthful in my expression, obviously, but with my motivation being that I want someone to see that I was in the valley, uko ndani, then this is what made me come up. But I'll have to express what the valley looked like.
The valley.
Because if I express about maybe my time when I was lustful, I'll have to talk about it in detail.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's why I'm an artist. You know, I need to bring you to my world.
And I think that's why we vibes on na Juice WRLD. Juice WRLD was somebody.
Yeah. Because it's weird. People normally when people talk about Juice WRLD, they think you're just talking about depression and everything. Yes, obviously he is. But there was always an element of hope. It was the wrong kind of hope because most of the time it was like maybe finding a woman who loves a man through his art, but there was always a sense of hope. So what I used to do is not until recent, guys, but what I do now is where somebody puts hope, like let's say a woman, ama your career, ama your whatever. Now I insert God, and I really love that exercise. By the way,
So that's why I wanted you to talk about, because kuweka God as the primary focus in your art, in your creativity, in whatever you want to express. Guys, I feel more inspired. I usually feel more inspired by the way. Sahi niko na new energy, and every time natakugiva nakumbuka, by the way, I want to do it for God's glory, and naona energy tu fulani inakama manzi. If it was for my glory, it was for my honor, kama ingekuwa tu like nataka tu kujua. Unajua, of course nataka kufanya hizo stuff. Kuna vile hiyo inspiration haiko. There's that just a new energy that God gives you whenever you're trying to build something that benefits society and gives him glory and honor at the same time. So yeah, that is why pia napenda creativity, so because like hey, God called you to hizi stuff na sasa. Haukuuma nje.
We need to express. Like I think the point, the difference between expressing bad things and just the negative area about life, and kuna point inafika unaanza kuexalt. And it's really like it's really obvious. Like if you listen to there's let's say like music A and B, utajua when this guy is just exalting crime, exalting drug, and just whatever. But you can see somebody struggle. And I think that's the most that's the kind of music or the kind of art I'm really kind of attracted to nowadays.
Well, it's really going to change what you love.
Exactly.
So when somebody is exhausting crime, sex, I'm drugs. Nowadays, I'm like, kitambo, really, this is what I really want to put in my spirit.
Yeah.
You really, I think, and this is what I want the audience to learn. What you take in, man, really shapes the way you move in life. It even shapes your character. No? So I'm not, because I'm a lover of music, but you really have to be careful about what you're listening to most of the time. Okay, listen to story and drugs most of the time, you turn out to get story and drugs. That's just how it works. It's just basic. It's the rule of life, man. Not to easy astrophysics. So you really have to know what you want to put, because what you put in is what you put out. Garbage in, garbage out.
For sure. So how do you so like you agree that we can listen to dark songs?
I think there's a time.
There's a difference between two dark songs, like the one which is exalting, crying.
I think music in itself, first of all, music in itself, creativity and expression itself, and a gift that come from God. They've all mistakes. Now, I mean, turn into this to a place where we celebrate things we're not supposed to celebrate. But we can go intentional about knowing what. No, that's why it first starts by knowing yourself as an individual. Ukitaka kujua this is what I'm going to put in my spirit. Now go intentional even this day, but then I feel if I don't have this in my spirit, then you'll be able to see the music you want to listen to.
Oh yeah.
Kitu kama amapiano. Wasi wenye wako extreme on this other side of Christianity wanakuwa like, what secular music is wrong, unaona. But amapiano is cool, maze. Amapiano makes you connect to the culture. Maze mimi napenda amapiano because it makes me feel. Director wetu huko ameagree na mimi so. Amapiano ni culture, yani it's cultural, maze. And especially in a time where Africans must have to celebrate what we have. But the logo yetu ya podcast ni Africa, and I'm really intentional about celebrating Africa.
Yeah.
Amapiano manze inafanya you love being African manze. Like I'm proud to be an African. Say, Lord, the beats, yani it's kind of spiritual in a way. It's really cool. Okay, it's like ikona vibe, ikona good, it's a party vibe, good community, the people around you are just having fun. Amapiano is a vibe, no. But okay, on this other extreme, unasema amapiano ni vibe because it's secular. You really have to be intentional about that. Not everybody will vibe with amapiano. That's why nimesema lazima first of all ujijue as an individual. Ukijijua as an individual, then these things will come and serve you. The music will come and serve you. Now it affect your faith.
Could you relate it to the, I don't know, like before we started this podcast, I told you I don't really know the verses in my fingertips, but I know the idea. It was talking about how I think it was Paul, but I don't know which letter. It was talking about how Christians were thinking, should I eat this meat, which is like a for pagan worship?
Oh,
can it really defile me?
Yeah.
And then the famous verse of like what comes out is what.
Oh yeah, the famous verse of Christ. It's not what comes in that defiles a man, but what comes out of a man. So that actually not much sinful nature because in some story garbage in, garbage out. I think it's just programming.
Let me finish this point. So my point is, there are people who judge, let's say, amapiano or secular music, and I think my point is maybe they are not wrong, because if listening to amapiano to them,
that's the point.
Yeah, then they shouldn't.
Yeah.
But sometimes I think for you, not that I think culture, not to come like culture here when you're young and you know what's up. I mean, for you, it might not really do anything to your faith. So I think, number one, it's not bad if you don't like amapiano, so it's okay.
So that's good.
Yeah. But also, if you like it and you think maybe you're losing your salvation spirit, then you're good. Yeah, because I'll say like as long as, because it depends on your conviction. If the Holy Spirit is convicting you and you're feeling like this amapiano is making you like patona. And that would be you're doing sin, then achana nayo leo. But if it's not, then it's okay.
Yeah,
you say that.
I think inasema hivyo. But I think the reason why nimesema point yangu is because kumekuwa na so much notion that secular music, from Christians actually, that secular music can be wrong. I think that is what I want to deconstruct. People understand. Stuff. I do understand. Maana nimesema music ni very relative. Unaweza kuwa unapenda amapiano, mimi sipendi amapiano. Doesn't mean that I'm better than you. It means just we have different tastes. Not everyone is a creative. I say true. Not everyone can sing like you. Not everyone can dance like you. But tukijao amapiano ndio wanaweza kutoa mood. So like hizi ni vitu zingine very relative that I the Christian community we take, unajua, from our parents na tukaichukua. Ndio maana like zingine as a Christian and especially as a creative who's a Christian. Mimi na yangu creators are Christian. Unakula feel like the church is a place where you're just going strained. Unaenda tu place fulani tu kwenye wasee wanapiga masuti unaona. And the church inakaa very repulsive, you know. But when you come and understand that hizi vitu zina come from God, that God's gifts to us. God gives us everything for enjoyment. Then you're able to enjoy them and put them in their place. Hata ukisikiliza music in secular, of course not need to gross music ama music yenye ni word, I'm looking for one yani tu wenye tu iko na degeneracy. When the music is not degenerate, you say you can really see the beauty that God has. Friedrich Nietzsche, like a philosopher I love, alisemanga life without music would be a mistake.
Then the other, like honestly, guys, during like let's say that you ladies like ukitembea through the aisle, utataka kusikia furi dance, utataka kusikia like some love song, you know. As long as I say me manze sijitingisha nini, but it's a love song.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think because kuna msalimuza like do you do gospel ama secular music, and sipenagi distinction because
by the way
distinction amesha sema moja ni bar moja
exactly. Maybe nowadays I don't like if something music is good, it's good because sababu pia lazima tukubali there is gospel music in bar.
It's like gospel even fun.
It's not fun. Like let's just kubali.
Na utaenda heri ukisema hivyo by the guys. Kama ni bar taka ni ya Mungu. Unasema by the way, it's like hey you guys muimbe vizuri by the way. Hautachoma.
Hata kuna mtu anasema play the lie ama the harp skillfully.
Skillfully.
Because unaendea Mungu mazeka wajua ati see it doesn't work that way. No matter, I think that's why the secular side of music, especially in Hollywood and the US, want to be because I was saying they put in the work.
Yeah.
Unaona kina Metro Boomin,
really do.
yani they wanaweka kwa craft yao manze.
They really do.
And this is why like my dream, chala niseme sasa imekuwa culture not for God. We find creatives who really are rooted in God's word and wake up with skill and wake up. Inaweza kuwa design nyingine no, inaweza kuwa beautiful.
Now, unaweza define secular music as music that appeals to the senses.
Secular music as me
like emotions.
Oh, for sure, yeah, exactly. Emotions is something that comes from God.
So now that's a good thing. So if it appeals to your emotions, and you are a Christian, who your emotions have been sanctified in the Lord, so inamaanisha even your attraction, like your inachange, like utafuta tu ngoma. Back to my point. I mean, for me, I do music that, let's say, if I'm talking about love, it's according to the Bible. Yeah. Obviously, I wouldn't say God everywhere, but you will see that it's a love that leads with service. I'm talking about service in the song, maybe sacrifice or putting yourself in their shoes, like all that kind of thing. You can do that in without really saying God in the verse, and that will be something, a song that really glorifies God, because it's glorifying love. Because most of the time nilikuwa na msee akiniambia ati do you listen to gospel, do you listen to secular? And then I was like, okay, if I sing about a beautiful horizon, who created that horizon?
Exactly.
So who am I glorifying that?
Exactly.
Unless I just say, hii kitu ni mimi nilicreate, which that would be done. You all know that I didn't create the horizon. But I just discovered it. But I didn't even discover it because people, since the Mayans were looking at horizons. But if I glorify it and I point to God through the music, then would you call that a gospel song, or would that just be a song?
But that's a good. You mentioned God for your song.
Yes.
You mentioned God for your song.
Yes.
No matter I don't like labels, man. Sasa ukiweka secular, ukiweka gospel, kwa sababu there is like when unajua the hip hop Christian hip hop artist mwenye make it actually na Grammys. At least break the ceiling of Christian and hip hop.
Yeah, true.
Alikuwa anasema by the way history ya kulabel hii ni gospel na hii ni secular, man. I think
it's simple-minded.
It's simple-minded.
Don't you agree?
And that's what something that we humans do at the clear time. Yeah, in gospel, in secular, say, not like unakam realize even as influencers or creatives. Unataka kwa box fulani manze. Na God ametu create tuko so dynamic man.
True.
If you're saved, and this is why I love C.S. Lewis, when msee mwingine alikuwa anaandika philosophical books, alikuwa anasema we don't need more Christians writing about Christian themes. We need more Christian lawyers writing about law. We need more Christian podcasters doing podcasts, because God's glory inaweza kuonekana hapo, because the devil mazee alidecide church ikae tu hivyo msena, yani tu faith yako ishi hapo kwa church. Unafaa kuenda hapo penye domain ya God amekuweka, alafu tena unaacha the light of God shine hapo. I think that's super interesting. So I feel like hii story ya kutry ku label tu wase, kama wewe ni unapenda God, wewe ni pastor. Wewe ni pastor, literally. Kama wewe ni musician, wewe ni Christian, ama ndakuwa na sana gospel, unaona? Wewe si Mkristo unaenda church, na wewe ni mse unafanya music, unafaa tu imbe gospel. Hizo labels manze mimi spend, I think they it's narrow-mindedness, I'm saying, for lack of a better term, I understand it's like offensive or anything. I think that you can explore
offensive all the way.
Hizi vitu ni zote ni za Mungu. Unaona? Law ni ya Mungu. Kama wewe ni lawyer, andika about vitabu za from a Christian perspective, unaona? People will see God's light shine through hizo areas zenye amecreate. Hizi gifts ni za God. Vitu za God hazishani tu kwa church. Manze. That's why even in the Bible tells us we are temples. No. Unaweza worship any place, anywhere, anytime in your domain. Kama mi podcast, and I think I'll share it because of this podcast. The podcast hata mimi mara kwanza nilikuwa pia nataka tu kwa Christian podcast.
You'll be like preaching. So where are we?
Exactly. But at the same time nikarealize vile God amecreate personality yangu, mimi napenda kuongea na wase of all walks of life. Be you Christian, first of all, God is which God is like truth. Christ is way, truth and life. Kuna vile tu tutaongea hapa. Alafu leo utaona something.
I think the point,
speaking to somebody.
The point, I think the fear is if you like keep deep and dive with the, let's say, pagan, in the 20 hours, you made women that talk about like a pagan. So I think as a Christian, if I'm at let's say a place where Christians are out there, people need to know that there's a Christian. Like people need to see the difference of thought and everything.
Exactly. I think even Janko mwenye sasa like umse mwenye mimi Derek tunampenda as a podcaster na nafahamu check out. Alikuwa anasema I think the mother told him that ukienda place na your place manze ukifai kuongelea stories za God, then your God is not that powerful. Unafaa kushine all the way regardless of
people need to know
man. No matter. And another thing pia inafanyanga tucheze chini is cost rather than get to go we need to do this part. See mimi kama tunaleta tunaifanya vile iko. God salvation na come through grace msee. So si lazima ngoje kwa papa kama ngoje ufike level 5 uweze kuongelea hizi master. But then wase wajue where you stand in your faith, and then through that utajipata una get more confidence ya kuongea about it msee. In your area of sphere of life, in your office, in your creativity. Unaona? So your story ya feature faith yako cause either uko confident or mazee unadhani hauko perfect ama cause unadhani ni kazi ya pastor tu mazee. Ilikuwa shaka.
A lot of people you ask them like maybe they come to you with like a theological question and you're like, let me peleka kwa pastor.
Exactly. Mimi sika bila neno wazee we lot typical average lazima ile ukiangalia utakuta kwa like balance wanataka church lazima. But I think we decide tutakuwa tu bold with our faith manzo regardless of where we are. Unacheki. And through that tunapata una grow and God's light. Mimi nakwambia wase wenye mimi na Derek tumeongelesha manzo na like hopefully light yenye tumeleta kwa life yao manzo imekuwa so crazy. Mbona ndani manzo ilikuwa nafanya nifike level fulani nifanye hivyo, but life you just start where you are.
Literally sometimes you can preach even in your fallen. I mean, even in your fallen nature you can preach about God's mercy, about God's salvation, regardless of what you've done. As long as you just come back to Him, you can preach through that literally, because people think you need to be perfect when you mess up. There's a fall if you want to be there. This is your chance even to preach about God's mercy. But like by there, I'm also a sinner. It's not like I'm perfect. But
Exactly.
I have the Holy Spirit in me, convicting me of every sin. So every time I sin, I just go back. With massive return.
And this is
every day.
actually kuna second napendanga inasemanga whenever we're talking about God Christ, it is a beggar telling another beggar where the bread is. Sasa zingine unadhani ati mimi ndio ule mimi ni beggar kama wewe tu, lakini mimi najua penye bread iko. So mimi nitakujaribu kuonyesha penye. Hapo bado kuna forms na hapo bado hakuna stress, maana kizizi maana is light. Ukikam kwangu hautaipasta kitu. So tumeongelea historia ya nini na tumeingia preaching manzi.
Yeah, creativity.
First of all nataka we finish off by talking about mimi nataka kuongelea about my dad manzi. Kwa sababu mara mazao amefanya
that issues but
see that issue. Nataka kushika. Nataka kumpiga. I think me I'm a creative because of my dad.
Okay.
My dad ni msemo mwenye anapenda kusikiza music. My dad loves rumba. And he definitely listen to music all the time. So like see even the way he moves, the way we anaonekana wase. Manze waka your parents manze. The reason why tuko na hizi gifts is because of our parents. I really wanna big up my dad na kushuku. Hata tukiongeza kwa creativity I think angeanza hivyo. It's my dad, my parents ndio walifanya. Alafu my mom was a fashionista manze. Yeye ndio alinifundisha. Yaani to dress. That was my mom's nice. So shout out to my parents. Hata wamefanya because this fly. It's in the genes.
Me, as much as I want to shout out you, Dad, but I mean, I'm not saying he did not play part, but I think in the start, I can say, okay, shout out to him because he housed a lot of people in our house.
Oh, so we
yeah, I got like a diversity of opinion, diversity of personality.
Yeah.
So that's why even I know how to, you can gauge her personality and just deep and dive in different personalities and just chill. So shout out to my dad for housing all that yokoki.
Watu ya college bado unafaa kuongeza high man. Kwa sababu ile familia nanga Sunday book club. Ilikuwa ulipiga high nyingine vipi sana. Sasa imagine hiyo time hiyo is something like that. Yeah.
Unapaka mafuta bana. But wait, acha nimalize shout out yangu. So yeah, I think I just shout out to my bros. Because manzumi nilelewa na my bro. Kwanza my bro Mgabu, that guy man. I think yeye ndo alikuwa ananionyesha nitoaje how to talk to girls, nini ngoma gani, my hip hop. So I shout out my bro, my sister, kupika, to dress. Knowing just how
I cut you off because we're gonna do too many times.
Knowing just how to talk to girls. My sister just chill, and I tell her my trouble. So and she's a really good advice.
Thank God for that.
Yeah, so like my family is big up.
I just want to shout out to my siblings, my younger siblings, Nixon, Sarapa, Rapa, Chalo, Jamaa Maklani, Mango, Manze, na nisipia na tunaongea na wase Victorina. Sisi hapo fashion designer hapo Michelle the speaker kiflani. She's an influencer. Sijui kama bado amenini yake nini. Get a niche, but we are just a family of creatives.
And my brother who is like you.
Yeah. Oh yeah,
yeah, I would say like I think that was a way of God really sneaking in someone to prepare me for this friendship.
Yeah.
So like my brother, I mean, because me I was like the kid to know channel. Like my brother showed me how to be a man. And my boy is a really masculine influence on my life. Imenisaidia sana maana nimependa gym, maana nimependa vitu hizo. So I think hiyo kitu imeniokolea. And when I was young, nilikuwa na hang around na mabeshte wa my bro. So hiyo pia imenisaidia maana shout out massive hapo. So yeah, I mean I think our point is is our point you can listen to anything? No. I don't have the point that you guys have got it from this.
I think God will guide.
But I think you need to focus more on the one.
Exactly.
The one is the one that is transforming you. Because I can't just tell you, skills.
Micromanage or say kitu yenye like.
But the more
you can't do.
The more unasikia the one, you know the value of relationship, let's say, the value of marriage, the value of brotherhood. Then if somebody sings some crap about brotherhood, then you'll be like, delete. So I think our main focus is, we can't really tell you which kind of music to listen, but what we can tell you is just focus on the word. What you believe in will actually should be shown in how you live.
Do not conform to the pattern of the world, but be renewed by the transformation of your thinking. The meditate of the word of God, the night and everything other kitu ngine. Hizo zingine
all that is good, all that is bad. Fikiriana tu hizo vitu. Hizo vitu ndio ni mzuri. Baki hapo.
Yeah. So guys, hope you enjoyed, many more to come. Peace. Subscribe.